Om Shanti, English Avyakt versions, 18th of April 1971. Headline: The Method and Benefits of Knowing the Feelings of the Mind. The method and benefits of knowing the feelings of the mind. Are all of you who are sitting here stable in the stage of Manmanabhav? Those who are themselves stable in the stage of Manmanabhav are able to know the feelings in the minds of others. When any person comes in front of you, are you able to understand clearly the feelings of that person's mind by being stable in the stage of Manmanabhav? Because when your stage of Manmanabhav becomes the subtle stage, you are then able to understand the subtle stage and subtle feelings. So you are continuing to have experience of this practice. No matter what the words are, continue to practice understanding their feelings. When you are able to understand the feelings in someone's mind, what will the result be? By understanding the feelings of each one's mind, what will happen when you are able to fulfill their desire or desire for attainments? They will become what you wish them to become. That is, there will very quickly be success in service because they will attain something according to their desire. What would happen if a person who is thirsty for peace finds peace? Through that attainment, he will become an imperishable effort maker. So, what will be the result of your discerning the feelings of the mind and understanding them? A lot of success and service will be visible in a short time because you will become an embodiment of success. At the moment you are in your effort making form. By developing this qualification, you will become an embodiment of success. Do you understand? At present, in order to bring about success, you have to give a lot of time, thoughts, wealth, and energy. What will happen then? Success itself will come in front of you. You will not have to use wealth. Wealth itself will come to surrender to you. Do you understand? There is this much difference by imbibing just the one thing. What is that one thing? It is to become Manmanabho and know the feelings in each one's mind. Will the praise that is sung of the elements of nature being your servants happen in the golden age? In the golden age, you will not even be aware that you have attained everything by gaining victory over matter. However, since you are making so much effort to become victorious over matter, you will see the fruit and attainment of victory over matter in this elevated birth. Matter will not make you dependent, but by being one who has the right, you will observe the task of matter. Do you understand? You will have such a perfect stage that there will be no type of dependency remaining. You will experience yourself having a right over everyone. What do you have to do in order to become like that? Firstly, spirituality. Secondly, godly intoxication should always be visible on your face. Thirdly, every soul should experience in a practical way the sanskar and virtue of you always being merciful in service. When all these three aspects, the virtue of spirituality, godly intoxication, and of being merciful, are visible practically in your form, in your stage, on your face, and in service, that is in action, then you can understand that success is coming close to you. What happens at the all three have to be together. What happened at that moment? When you become merciful together with being merciful, spiritual intoxication should also be visible. But both are not now visible at the same time. Either the virtue of being merciful is visible or the virtue of spiritual intoxication is visible. Together with the spiritual intoxication, spirituality should also be visible. All three have to be combined in a practical way, that is, still lacking a little. You are still practicing at present, you just consider yourselves to be great compared to all souls. However, do you also create every thought and perform every action as a great soul? To understand is the aim, whereas to do is to be in the practical form. When you go in front of others with the awareness of your being a great, most elevated soul, what will they experience? Everyone's head will bow in front of your greatness. When someone of a great status of the iron age of today goes in front of your non living images, what happens? He will bow his head. When their heads bow in front of the images, would they not bow their heads in front of the living images who have their character in the living form and are equal to the Father in all virtues? Or do you think that this result is of the future? Is it going to happen now? When? How much time is there still to the end? If you bow down and make them bow down, what is the big deal? Sometimes you have the aim that you may have to bow down because of service. That aim is wrong. That aim is wrong. That aim is filled with weakness. When the seed itself is weak, what type of fruit will it bear? Anyone carrying out establishment of something new does not think that he would have to bow down to do it. When souls have the aim of making others bow, they show how they definitely can make many bow in front of themselves. In comparison to this, just to see how elevated the task of establishment is and on whose directions it happens. Just to see what result emerges when you go in front of others with the aim that they have to bow down in front of you, and when you have also imbibed that spiritual intoxication. In order to bring about greatness, you have to go into the subtlety of knowledge. The more you go into the subtlety of knowledge, the more you will be able to make yourself great. When there isn't so much greatness, it means that you don't have that much experience of the subtlety of knowledge. So check yourself, keep in your awareness the task of a great soul. In any case, a great soul is one who carries out a great task. If someone carries out an ordinary task, he is not called a great soul. So the task of a great soul should also be great within the timetable of the whole day in terms of being a great soul. Check what great task you accomplished throughout the whole day. Did you become a great donor? Generally, the task of a great soul is to make donations and perform charity. So, you are the ones who are said to be the greatest of all souls. So, how much did you donate throughout the day? Throughout the whole day today? Did you become a great donor? Generally, the task of great souls is to make donations and perform charity. So, you are the ones who are said to be the greatest of all souls. So, how much did you donate throughout the whole day today? And what did you donate? Just as the meals, food, and drink of great souls are great, in the same way, check whether the food of your intellect today was also great. Did you accept pure food? When those who call themselves great take impure food, what do all those who see them say? They would question, is this one a great soul? So check yourself and see whether you took the food of any impure thoughts into your intellect. People generally check the food, diet, and interaction of great souls. So today, throughout the day, what was the food for the intellect? If you imbibed any impure, sinful, or wasteful thought in your intellect, then understand that there was impurity in your intake of food today. Those who are great souls have the aim of giving all souls the donation of happiness through their every interaction, that is, through their activity. They give happiness and receive happiness. So check. In terms of being a great soul, did you give or take sorrow from anyone throughout the day? What is an act of charity? Charity is to give souls something through which blessings emerge from them. This is called an act of charity. Whomever you give happiness to, blessings will emerge from them for you. This is an act of charity. The main qualification is non-violence. Throughout the whole day, also check whether there was any violence. What type of violence is there, which you have to check. You call yourself doubly non-violent, do you not? In your mind too, there is a lot of battling with with your sanskars. So you commit the violence of killing Maya. Even though you battle, why do you call that non violence? Because the result of this battle is happiness and peace. Violence is that through which one receives sorrow and peacelessness. However, through this you attain peace, happiness, and benefit, and it is therefore not called violence. So you are doubly non violent. So you also have to look at this qualification that is remembered of great souls. Throughout the day today, you didn't commit any type of violence, did you? If you make someone's state fluctuate through any words, that too is violence, just as making someone unconscious by shooting an arrow at him is violence. In the same way, if you make someone's spiritual stage fluctuate or hurt them through your words, that too is violence. To suppress your real Satupradhan sanskars or your original godly sanskars and to put other sanskars into a practical form is like strag- strag- strange, strangling someone, and that too is considered to be violence. So, to suppress your original sanskars, that is the sanskars of your Satapradhan stage, is also violence. Do you understand? So, you have to check to what extent you have all these qualifications in a practical form. Now, do you understand what the qualifications of a great soul are? Continue to donate throughout the whole day, perform acts of charity, and also become non violent. So, speak, what will your stage then become? Everyone will definitely then bow their head in front of the great souls who go into such subtlety and who remain stable in their perfect stage. Would they literally bow their heads? The head is the highest part of the body. So, to bow one's head means to make the whole self bow. So, those who nowadays consider themselves to be elevated and great or consider their task to be great will bow their heads. That is, they will feel that all their tasks are nothing in comparison to this elevated task. They won't consider their greatness to be elevated but would consider it to be ordinary. This is known as all souls bowing their head in front of you. So, now do you understand what you have to check? Throughout the whole day, to what extent have you brought in practical form the great task and qualifications of great souls? Baba will ask you about this result later. You were told earlier that you are the children of the Trimurti Father, and so Trimurti light should be visible from you. That is, there should be the visions granted of three lights from each one of you. When others come in front of you, firstly, they should see the jewel on the forehead. Secondly, from both your eyes, they should see two light bulbs. And thirdly, they should see a crown of light over your head. So they should have visions of all three lights. Some do have these visions. When you make them sit in remembrance, both eyes are seen as balls of light, and from some there are visions of a crown of light over the heads. So, what will happen when people have visions of these three lights from you? They themselves will also become light. You have experienced this, have you not? Through the Sakar form, you saw how many had visions of the crown of purity through the forehead and the eyes. So you have to follow the Father. If you grant visions of such a form to souls, success in service will bow down at your feet. Become such great souls that whomever you go in front of will have visions. Then, would they be able to show their heads in front of you? Who are the images that grant visions? They would bow down. When they bow their heads in this way now, they will later bow their physical heads in front of your non living images. However, many you make bow down in front of you now. Accordingly, people will bow their heads in front of those non living images. Together with subjects, you also have to create devotees. The reward of the whole cycle has to be fixed now. Heirs have to be created now, and subjects too have to be created now. The devotees of the copper age will also be created now. Do you understand? You have to fill your devotees with the sanskars of devotion, that is, of bhavana, loving faith, from now. By filling them with the sanskars of the bhavana for you being very elevated, they will become devotees. So the devotees too have to be created now. As yet, you are still making effort to create subjects. As the stages of all of you continue to be revealed, so your hair, that is the royal family, the subjects and the devotees will also continue to be revealed. Now they are mixed because their stage is not yet fixed. This is why they continue to be mixed. Then they will be visible practically. You will feel that that one is a devotee. You will feel this because the virtue of being Trikaldarshi will be revealed. You will then also be able to see clearly your reward of all three aspects of time, not in a divine vision, but you will have a practical vision.